Hi there, Jurgen. Because losing matches has been so much of a rarity for Liverpool over the past 2.5 years, when you have these pre-match meetings with the players, can you sense something different in them in terms of, in terms of learning lessons? Do you sense in them a difference, wanting to put things right, and that's not going to happen? So that there's actually positives to take from it almost.
Yeah, I don't use that and never used things like this in pre-match meetings. I use them in post-match meetings. Means after the game, we speak about what was right and wrong. In the pre-match meeting, we prepare the next game. And there's no time for worrying about things we did not right in the last game. It's not like constantly saying, and here we did that, we had that problem and that problem, if we have that today again and stuff like this. So in the post-match meeting, we make, what is it? A resume of the last game, pretty much. And if there are positives, I mention them. So because I'm not from a newspaper or something like that, I don't have to put the finger only in one on and make a headline. I have to talk, I have to write a full article if you want. And that's what I try to do. If there are positives, I mention them. If there are negatives, I mention them. If I think it's necessary. If I know they know already and everybody, it was so obvious, then maybe I don't mention them. But the pre-match meeting is about the next game, and that's about what we have to do in this game, because we would have to do that if we would have won the last game as well. So there's no difference. It's just about preparing this game with the special needs of the game, with the special needs of the opponent, and nothing else.
Aston Villa, obviously problems in terms of fighting for their Premier League survival. You had a cracking game against them early on this season at Villa Park. What sort of reference point can that be for your players in terms of, more than anything else, it showed that this is a Liverpool team that never knows when it's beaten with those two late goals, but also the fact that Villa gave you a good game, and people like McGinn and Grealish, when they're at it, and if they're allowed to be, if they're allowed too much possession, they can cause problems for you.
Again, how like each Premier League team, this game was a special game. That will be seen as a special game when people speak in 10 years about this season. And they say, okay, that was one of the key moments of the season, was for sure the Aston Villa game. I remember exactly how they scored the goal. I remember our goals. I remember a lot of parts of the game, which doesn't happen. It's not the case for all football games we played in this season, for example. But it was a very important one for us. And Villa was not in a bad moment at that time. There was in a rather good moment, I think. Since then, a lot of things changed. So can we use this game for the preparation? Not really, but in general, it was a really important game. Since then, Aston Villa changed system, I think twice, playing back five. Last game they played kind of a diamond. I think bringing Jack Grealish in his best position, maybe. We don't know exactly how Dean will line up against us, but we have to be prepared for different stuff, and that's for all of us the challenge. So now, if some people said rhythm is better than a break, then it was an advantage for City last night. If people say that, but then it should be an advantage for us as well, because Aston Villa had now a week off when we played on Thursday. If people say a break is better than a rhythm, then we have to show that is not the case. So because we have just to be there and give Villa a proper fight. Yes, if Villa has possession, they make the pitch big. They play diagonal balls. They use the speed, and they're good. They're good. But usually in games against top 6 teams, they don't have like 50-60% of the ball. It's more like between 25 and 35, something like that. So, but it's not about that. It's about what are they doing in the moments when they have the ball, and we need to have solutions for that. And for the majority of the time, hopefully we have the ball, and then we have to find solution for that as well. We did that in the past very often, but we need them tomorrow again, on Sunday again.
Thank you.
From Mike James from TalkSport for a question.
Jurgen, we know that fans will have to stay away from Anfield this weekend. We know why that's so important. But how keen are you to reward those fans with not only a result on Sunday, but also a performance similar to what we saw against Crystal Palace last week?
We are always keen to do that. That the Crystal Palace game is a sensational example for that. But I think the City game last night was it as well. If you are in football, you saw our moments. If you are only watching with one eye, you didn't see them. You see the result and think that was not good enough. But that's not. It was not good enough. It's true. But it was not about that we didn't show respect to our people, to the badge, to the shirt, to whatever, and just went there pretty much with one eye only. We were there 100% with all we have. So if anybody would doubt that in a moment, that would be really strange. And not only for the city, but in general, if anyone would doubt if we will show up and will give our 100%, it would be really strange. I would be really surprised if that would not be the case, because the boys didn't show any sign for that. We are still hungry. We are still full of hunger, whatever. The boys show me the necessary grit, the commitment, the desire, everything what you need. But in the end, it's a football game, and key moments decide the game, and we have to be there in the key moments, 100%.
Great, and I think, barring anyone else putting their hand up, Carl Markham's going to finish off the Open as it stands at the moment. Then we will go to a breakout for the first of our embargo sections. Yes, Carl.
Hi, Jurgen. In John Henderson's post-match interview last night, he said the match was a learning curve for the players. I'm just wondering, for a team that's won the Champions League and the Premier League, what else they still have to learn?
So yes, we learned a lot in the last few years, obviously, and that's true. And in this game, as I said, the strange circumstances, and you cannot. If I wanted to read a book about it, I don't think there are a lot out there on the market. How to deal with becoming champion on Thursday night and playing a week later, one, if not the best team in the world. So funny, they have to want to prove a point. They have nothing to lose. We have nothing to win. So it was, if you think about all these things, it makes you obviously like, it's a bit weird, because wow, how we can bring it all together. Usually you go in a game, you want to win it, done. Both teams want the same, both teams similar quality and all that stuff. But to deal with the situation is a challenge. We've never world champions before. I really think the boys did so far brilliant. That's not obvious in the result against City, but it is obvious for me in the daily work. These boys will go again, and then to learn is what we have to learn is that we are ready to work really hard, but that we have to be clear, or have to know that these key moments, these little moments in games like this decided. But we knew it before, but in a special situation, we couldn't do it, obviously, otherwise the boys would have done it. And that's what we have to learn, 100%. But it's not that it's everything completely new. It's the new facts are clear, and we will show that we can deal with it. But that's all. I really think we showed last night already that we can deal with it, but nobody can see that when you look at the result.
Okay. Happy, Carl?
Yeah, just a quick follow-up on that, Jurgen, and following up the education theme. I'm just wondering, in terms of, Nico Williams, Curtis and Harvey Elliott being included in the squad, how important these last few games of the season are in terms of their football education?
Look, here now, that's the next thing, obviously, what we have to learn. I don't think these kind of questions will be asked to Frank Lampard, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and stuff like this. So we are champions now, and we should now bring the young boys, give them a chance. Let's have a look. So then we lose the games, and everybody's going at us and like, you lost focus, you are doing not that, you do not this. So we want to win football games, and for winning football games, the best players have to be on the pitch. And when the young boys are part of these best players, then they will be on the pitch. They are so close. They are really good, and they are our future, 100%. But they will not play now because I want to see them in a Premier League game. We don't give Premier League games as Christmas presents, so we cannot do that. We are really in the competition, and it's not only about other teams and what Aston Villa is in that situation, fighting for the league, Brighton fighting for the league. After that, no, Burnley not, but stuff like this. It's not about respect. We just want to do it because that's the case, and the boys are really good. But how I said, it's not like giving appearances or Premier League games away like sweets. We have to make sure that the best 11 on that day is on the pitch, and the other guys who fit best in the formation will come on. And then we make that decision for the one game, and for the next game another one. But they are around. They are really close. How is that? But we will not give Premier League matches just for fun.
Brilliant. Thank you. Guys, we're going to go to the embargoed section now. So for those of you